भगवान की। देखो नंदी हरी हरी।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Please sing along Jai Radha Madhav. Thereafter we will discuss about this pastime of Damodar. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, कार्तिक दामोदर मास व्रत की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। Hare Krishna. So welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam discussion on this last pastime of Yashovati Nandan Damodar Bhagwan. Let's do Mangalacharan and thereafter we'll discuss. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurummilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani भाषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे भूतैर्महद्भिर्यायिमा पुरो विभु निर्मायशेते यदमुषु पुरुषा भुङ्क्ते गुणान् षोडशात्मका सोलं विशिष्ट भगवान् वचांसि मे श्रीकृष्ण शरणं शरणागतं तथा अमृतं सततपिबतं भक्तिवेदान्तमार्गबन्धनं सर्वलोक ऋषिदेव जन्न प्रसन्नं सर्वलोक ऋषिदेव जन्न प्रसन्नं. So last week we were discussing on how Mother Yashoda, she endeavored to tie Krishna, bind Krishna, and she was only able to do it when Lord Krishna saw that she was fixed in her determination, and she was doing out of love and concern. So these are the two qualities required for favorable devotional service. A love for Krishna and being favorable to Krishna, meaning what is good for Krishna. Krishna may not want it. For example, Acharyas gave the commentary that when Mother Yashoda wanted to tie Krishna, Krishna was not happy. He did not want to be tied because he wanted to go out and play with his friends outside. On the other hand, when Krishna was fighting the two wrestlers, Chanura and Mushtika, then Krishna was very happy fighting with them, and they were and Krishna was happy that they are fighting with him. So they asked this rhetorical question: are Mushtika and Chanura better devotee than Mother Yashoda? Then Acharya's reply: of course not. It's another matter that Krishna was very happy fighting with them because he was getting great joy out of them, out of this fight. So Krishna was roughly 11-12 years of age when he was fighting Mushtika and Chanura. And you know, at that age, children are very, very, what you call, chivalrous. They want to have a good fight. In the schoolyard, you see all the time, children are just, especially boys, they are just fighting around with each other, just out of natural fun. I remember when I was, around about 9 years of age, then in a drama at Krishna Janmashtami, then I was made Krishna. And my role was that to fight Mushtika and Chanura. And then after Chanura is killed, then I would fight Kamsa. So I thought, I really hit them hard. But before I even punched, I didn't even hit him. Chanura just fell down dead. And I said, I did not get much joy out of it, But then I said, doesn't matter, Kamsa is next. I will fulfill all my heart's desires with Kamsa. So with Kamsa, the role was, of course, you'll wrestle for a while and then get on his chest and then give him the final blow on his chest. So, but before doing that, I gave Kamsa 5 or 6 really hard slaps and then I killed him. But that's how it is, But does that mean Mother Yashoda is a lesser of a devotee than Chanura and Mushtika? No. Why? Because Chanura and Mustika were giving pleasure to Krishna, and Mother Yashoda was making Krishna cry. Yes, very good. The intention behind the action is utmost important. Mother Yashoda was concerned that if Krishna runs away in the forest, then animals are there that would harm him. So she said, until the cows come home in the evening, I will not leave Krishna until he is bound. So she kept trying to find Krishna. So Bhagavatam says, Drishtva parishramam Krishna. Drishtva parishramam Krishna. So Drishtva, so Krishna saw. What did he see? Parishramam, the endeavor of Mother Yashoda. Krishna, he saw. And what happened? Kripayasit svabandhane. And when Krishna saw endeavor, then automatically his kripa, his mercy flowed. And scriptures mention that Krishna has many, many shaktis. Parasa shaktir vividhaiva shuyate, superior shaktis. But out of all the shaktis of Krishna, he has one Satya Sankalpa Shakti. Satya Sankalpa Shakti means whatever Krishna desires, it's always true. His Sankalpa is always true. And then the other is his Vibhuti Shakti. Vibhuti Shakti means he's just too big. He's Vibhu, greatest. And we are Anu, very small. So, when Krishna's Sankalpa Shakti, that I don't want to be bound by Mother Yashoda, came into effect, then his Vibhuti Shakti made his belly immeasurable. So one of Krishna's name given in the scriptures is Aprameya. Aprameya means that one cannot measure the extent of Lord's glory, fame. So Mother Yashoda every day used to tie a belt around Krishna's waist, but today she is not able to tie the rope around his waist. And so every time the rope is 2 fingers short. Even though she joins the ropes and again tries to tie it, but it is still 2 fingers short. And so Mother Yashoda is thinking, what is happening today? Every day I tie a belt around his waist, and now she has joined all the ropes from the house and it's 150 feet long, but still she is not able to tie it around Krishna's waist. So when there is competition between a devotee and the Lord, and if the devotee, which is called, who is determined, and this determination in Sanskrit is called Bhakta Nishtha. Nishtha means they are fixed in their determination and they are steady. That no matter what, I'll do my devotional service to the Lord, no matter how challenging the circumstances may be. So, when that happens, then Krishna sees that endeavor. Krishna sees everything. So sometimes, for example, we may be given some service to do, some seva, and that seva may be inside the kitchen, and no one is looking. No one is looking, so one may be thinking, oh, I'm all alone, there's no recognition. But actually Krishna is looking, because Krishna is the witness. One of Krishna's name is Sakshi. So he is a witness to our bad and good activities. So we should be very cognizant of this fact that Krishna is there as a witness. He is always looking. One of the verses our Guru Maharaj taught is that Yam Pashyanti na Pashyantam Chakshur Tasya Narishyati. Yam Pashyati means one who is seeing everything, but no one can see him. Yam Pashyanti na Pashyantam. No one can see him. So if Krishna is seeing everything, then it should mean that his eyesight is declining. Now, if we see something for a long time, like I've got glasses now, I can't see without the glasses, for reading, that is. So Chakshu, but Krishna is seeing everything, but his eyesight is not declining. So at all the time, he is witness to our auspicious and inauspicious activities. And accordingly, then he rewards us or punishes us by the agency of Yamaraj or by agency of his divine nature. So Drishtva Parishramam Krishna. So it doesn't matter, no one else is looking, Krishna is looking. And Krishna is inside our heart. Sarvasya chaham hridi sanniveshto. He is in the heart, and within the heart he knows what our thoughts, our feelings are, and how sincere we are. So any activity we are doing, especially as service to Krishna, that sense of sincerity should be there. Because Krishna is looking, no matter others may not be looking. And Krishna is appreciating, even though others may not be appreciating. So, when Krishna sees that honest endeavor by a devotee, then his heart melts like a butter. And when his heart melts, then in that flood, Krishna's Satya Sankalpa Shakti and his Vibhuti Shakti, they drown. And only thing that remains is Krishna's Kripa Shakti, his mercy. Otherwise, we puny, tiny, living entities, souls, we can have no comprehension of the might of Krishna, of the breadth of his creation, of how wonderfully he creates this material world, and how all planets are floating in their own natural orbits, and how, what to speak of our own body, how it is operating. It's such a complex system. But Krishna is the divine engineer behind everything. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate. I am the source of all material and spiritual worlds. Everything emanates from me. So Krishna being the source of everything, he knows everything inside out. And to this end, when we try to connect with him, then we are in touch with his divine energy. As we are mentioning, in this morning's program, that we are able to perceive him when we hear his holy names. So Mother Yashoda was endeavoring to tie Krishna, and what should we be endeavoring? Krishna himself tells, we should be endeavoring for chanting his holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And so this is the greatest wealth of the devotee. And as last week we were telling the story of the ungrateful son who did not appreciate the wealth that was given to him by his father. Why was that? Because he did not work hard. So a person who does not work hard does not know the value of money. So in this pastime, when Krishna is tied by Mother Yashoda, then Krishna sees these two trees, gigantic trees, called Yamla Juna trees. And they were cursed by the sage Narad Muni. They were sons of demigods, Kuvera, who is the treasure of the demigods and who is very, very rich. As a result, the children did not have to work hard to get the wealth. And they were using the wealth in drinking liquor and associating with women in the Himalaya regions of the Ganges, known as Mandikini River. And they were drunk. So in that condition, they were there, and Narad Muni passed by. Now because these two were drunk, they just did not care. Why? Because they lose all their senses. a drunkard person, intoxicated person, has no discrimination. So Narad Muni thought, how can I reform this too? So Narad Muni concluded that they are intoxicated by liquor and furthermore intoxicated by the pride of wealth. So one who is intoxicated by pride of wealth, they don't listen. They say, oh, I've got so much money, why should I listen to you? That is usually the opulence. So there are four kinds of opulence described in Bhagavatam. Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shrivir. So good birth, good parental, coming in a family of, either royalty, family of a Brahmana, family of a rich family. That's called Janma. The other is Aishwarya. Aishwarya means the person is very dynamic, very opulent, maybe a self-made man. Shruta means a person may be very educated, professor, engineer, doctor. And Shrivir. Shrivir means the person may be very good looking. Or Shri also refers to wealth. Person may be very wealthy. So out of these four kinds, Edamana Mada. Mada means intoxication. So out of all these four kinds of pride, good birth, good parentage, opulence and beauty, and education and wealth. So good birth, opulence, education and wealth. Which is the worst kind of pride? Beauty. Anyone else? Wealth. Yes, Narad Muni says wealth. Why wealth?
With wealth you can buy a lot.
Yes. If you have money, you can do anything. You can get beauty as well. If you have money, you can get education, no problem. If you have money, you can get your life to be opulence. So one who has money, it is said, is most intoxicated. So Narad Muni is contemplating, Nahi anyo jushato joshyan buddhi bhramsho rajogunat. Because wealth, pride of wealth, it completely corrupts the intelligence. Buddhi bhramsho. Now we said, buddhi bhrashto ho gayi hai. Buddhi bhramsho. And where does that money then go? Stri dyutam yatra asavaha. It goes in womanizing. It goes in dyutam gambling. And it goes yatra stri dyutam asava. It goes in drinking of alcohol. And it goes in killing of animals. Wherever you see, like, wealth is there, but which is not hard-earned, which is just got through some means or the other, or through crime, things like that, then these four things become very prominent. So children, in our Krishna conscious movement, from early age are taught to avoid these four things. But if wealth is there, which is not earned through right means, then very easily these four things infiltrate and they corrupt everyone. So one needs to be grounded. It's very hard to digest success for persons. Two examples. Once I had Radhanath Swami gave, I think. He was mentioning that on one hand, you had George Harrison. He was a very successful singer, and on the other hand you had Michael Jackson, who also was a very successful singer. And in terms of the records sold, Michael Jackson probably was more successful. But in terms of success in life, who would you call more successful? If you know these two persons. By the way, how many persons know George Harrison and his personal life? No? Okay. Yes. some devotees too. So George Harrison was in 1960s. He met our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. So when Krishna conscious movement was spreading like fire in the West, and George Harrison was a pop, like a singer. But his songs also, apart from the material songs, he was very inclined to spirituality. So his songs was very much addressing the Lord as well. So one of his famous songs, you can Google it, you'll see, My Sweet Lord, it's titled, Oh My Sweet Lord. And so when he met devotees, in dhoti and kurta in London, then he approached them and said, oh, I've been looking for you guys, where have you been? And he invited them. And when Srila Prabhupada came, he met Srila Prabhupada, and he had this acreage property known as Mano, and he just donated it to ISKCON, to Srila Prabhupada at that time. And also, he gave money for printing of Krishna book. And if you read Krishna book, in the preface, Prabhupada acknowledges that I'm very, very grateful to my son George Harrison, who has given me, to Sriman George Harrison, who has contributed towards printing of this Krishna book, which will let the whole world know about who Krishna is, the Supreme Personality of God. On the other hand, when Michael Jackson saw the same Krishna book, he asked, oh, who is this person? And someone told, oh, this is God, Krishna. Then he retorted, oh, you should remove his face and put my face there instead. Because he regarded himself as invincible God at that time. He was in the peak of his career. But look what happened to him. He died in a dungeon, no one around him, and his life, especially at the end, was marked with controversies. And he had a very undignified death. But George Harrison, on the other hand, when Srila Prabhupada was on his deathbed, then he took a ring out of his finger and he gave it to one devotee and said, please give this ring to my son George Harrison and tell him that I'm very grateful for the contribution he has made towards spreading of Krishna conscious movement. Now imagine one of the greatest contemporary spiritualists of his time, Prabhupada, he's on his deathbed and he's remembering this person, George Harrison. Now what good fortune awaits George Harrison? So when George Harrison was dying, he was surrounded by devotees who were chanting Hare Krishna, and that's how he left his body. So success is really measured not by how much money we earn, how much records we sell, how many buildings we build, how big our houses may be. It is measured by how humble we remain and acknowledge that everything is due to Krishna and we dedicate everything to Krishna. Otherwise, what happens? Buddhi Brahmsho Rajo Gunat. Narad Muni says it destroys our intelligence and pride makes us fall down. So Narad Muni thought, what punishment should I give these people so that they can reform? So Narad Muni cursed them, as we were discussing last week, that they be trees. Why? Because they were naked, bathing naked in a holy place, and they stood like trees still, did not move when they saw Narad Muni. Narad Muni said, okay, tasked to be trees. And these trees were in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj when Krishna was born, and they were standing there for 1,200 years. Huge, gigantic trees. So when Mother Yashoda tried Krishna, he saw these two trees. And then he remembered that when these two, Nalkuber and Manigriv, realized their mistakes after being cursed by Narad, then they begged forgiveness from Narad Muni. And then Narad Muni said, when Krishna appears in this world, then he will liberate you. So Krishna, when he remembers the incident, now look at the mercy of Krishna. He himself is bound and he is thinking of how can release them. Acharyas explain, for the first time Krishna is bound, otherwise Krishna is free. So he understands the pain of being bound and entangled in the cycle of life and death, birth and death. So then he says, but these two are not qualified. But because my pure devotee Narad Muni promised, I feel obliged. Because the Lord is dependent on the will of his devotee. Krishna says, Aham bhakta paradhino hi aswatantra evadvija. I'm not swatantra. I'm dependent, paradhina, to my devotee. Why? Because out of love they have bound me in their hearts. Without love, there is no meaning to spirituality. Spirituality means love of Lord. And Prabhupada very nicely translates, it means devotional service. Devotion to the Lord, being devoted to Lord. And if we are devoted to Lord, that means we will be serving the Lord. And so this service is done in a favorable mood. What is good for the Lord, what is good for Krishna. In this way, Krishna said, they don't deserve it, but my pure devotee Narad Muni promised. So, what to do? I have to deliver them. So Krishna crawls past the tree, but the wooden grinding mortar gets stuck. And Krishna puts a bit of force, and these two gigantic trees, they uproot, and Nalkuver Manigriv, divine beings come out. And then they acknowledge and offer nice prayers to Krishna. So coming back to this point of having value for wealth, when will we have, or when will we know the value of money or wealth? Last week we discussed a story of son and the father. Yes. So when, as per the story last week, when HareKrishna, when one works hard, then he can appreciate the value of money. Now this story, for those who went here last week, in UK, it's a true story. The very rich person was there. He had only son, but he did not pay attention to the upbringing of the son. As a result, the son, like Nalkuver Manigriv, just diverted in wrong things. But when the father realized, and he said, okay, you find some work hard, give me the money at the end of the month. And the son borrowed money from his friend and gave it to the father. And the father threw it in the fireplace. And the son stood there like a statue. So the father knew that he was lying. So in this way, 2-3 times it happened. And the father then, the last time he threatened that if you don't bring the money from your own heart and work, then you are out of this house, you are out of the will. Then son got really serious and worked. Found some menial work and got the money. And at the end of the month, when the father asked, he gave it. So father threw the money in the fire. But this time the son did not stand there like a statue. He ran into the fireplace and was shouting, I've worked really hard for this money and you are just throwing it away. So he started taking the money out from there. So father became very happy. Now my son knows the value of money. So in this way, the most valuable thing for the devotee is what? And how do we get bhakti in Kali Yuga? Yeah, by chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
So this is the most valuable thing, and this is the work we have to endeavor for. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrata. That singing my glories always, chanting my names, yatantascha means endeavoring. So Mother Yashoda is endeavoring to tie Krishna. What does Krishna want us to endeavor? He wants us to endeavor for chanting his names. But do we really know the value of the Lord's holy names? This morning we look at the pastime where Lord Shiva appeared in a dream of a person, that if you go to Sanatana Goswami, he has this touchstone. And touchstone means basically you touch it and you desire something, that desire manifests. So this person said to Lord Shiva, yes, I'll go to him. And he went to Sanatana Goswami the next morning. And Sanatana Goswami there was chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in his bhajan kutir. And this person approached and told, Lord Shiva came in a dream and he said to me that you have a touchstone, Chintamani, please give it to me. So Sanatana Goswami said, no, I don't have anything like that. He said, no, Lord Shiva told me you have. He said, no, I don't. So then that person, being disappointed, started walking away. But Sanatana Goswami remembered, oh yes, I have. And he called him back. Please come back. I remembered now, I have. It's lying in the rubbish dump somewhere there. You please go and you can get it from there. So this person went to the rubbish dump, very filthy place, and tried to find out. And eventually he found it. And he became very happy. And he just cleaned it, put it against his chest, and happily was walking away. But then he thought that, oh, if this is the most valuable thing, and Sanatana Goswami has put it in the rubbish dump, then that means Sanatana Goswami has something more valuable than this. So he did a U-turn and went back to Sanatana Goswami, and he said, this is my doubt. You are keeping something more valuable than this. Otherwise, why would you keep this in the dump of rubbish? So Sanatana Goswami said, yes, that's very true. I have something more valuable than this. So he said, can I have that thing? So Sanatana Goswami said, first go and throw this Chintamani, touchstone, in the river and come back. So he did that. And then Sanatana Goswami then gave him this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and initiated him into chanting. So when we chant this Mahamantra, then this is the greatest wealth. Why? Because this name will deliver us from the cycle of birth and death. It is mentioned in Bhagavatam, Apanna Samskratim Ghoram Yan Nama Vivaso Granam, that even helplessly we sometimes say, oh Christ, oh Krishna, oh Ram. Then immediately the name of the Lord, because it's liberated, it will deliver us from the miserable condition. So it is the greatest wealth for the devotee. So therefore many devotees write about this. Krishna naam ke hire moti, japat nirantan soi. Krishna prema bhakti rasarasi, sukhakari man hoy. That it enlivens the mind when we have this wealth of chanting of the holy names of the Lord. And this wealth is coming directly from the spiritual strata. It's not of the material world. Therefore it is said, Golokera prema dhana harinama samkirtana. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj says that that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself Apana Kariya Swada Sikha Ila Bhakta Gana Prema Chintamani Prabhu Dhani. So, from names of Krishna, we'll get love of Krishna. Golokera Premadhana Harinam Sankirtana. Like in that story of the son and the father, when did the son know the value of the money? When he worked hard, then he knew the value of the money. I remember my Guru Maharaj was telling me once that he lived in UK most of his life, and his children, they came very young age, and they got integrated in the Western culture. So when his son was of the age of going to university, then he had some friendships, and he was started going to nightclubs. And then late night, he was coming home. And so, my Guru Maharaj, out of concern, he was waiting for him, 2 o'clock at in the morning or night, whatever you want to call. And he opened the door, came in, and he asked, "Are you okay?" "Yes, I'm okay." "Okay, please go to sleep." So it happened for 3 weeks like that, he said. But in the 4th week, my Guru Maharaj gave him back. Said, "You're living under this roof. The money you are spending is, I am earning that money. I'm working hard day and night, not for you to waste it in your outings, in nightclubs, this and that. Don't know what you are doing." Said, "If you want to go, no problem, you go. But not from my money. Go find work, and then from whatever money you earn from your work, you spend how you like. I won't say anything." So then the son, it hit his ego so much that he said, "Okay, I'll go and find work." And he found work. And he started getting money. So again in the weekend it happened like that. So when my Guru Maharaj confronted him, then he said, "No, I found work and this is my own money." So he said, "Okay, you can waste whatever way you like your money." So the son was also very, confronting. Our Guru Maharaj said from 16 to 24 years of age, this age is donkey mentality. Gade. Yeah. So we do stupid things in this age. We think we are right, parents don't know anything. So, but then he kept doing it, working hard, and then one day he realized that actually my father was right. I'm working hard, and in one night I'm just spending it all. And after that, he stopped doing those activities, going out at nightclub and stuff like that, because his own hard-earned money is there. So he came to know the value. So similarly, when will we know the value of the names, holy names of Krishna? Yes, when we put on really good effort and endeavor to chant the holy names of Krishna. As we said, it's not a optional activity, it's a compulsory activity. Like we breathe every day, every 3 seconds roughly we breathe. Like we eat food, drink water. Similarly, this activity has to be done every moment, chanting of the holy names of Krishna. Krishna says, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha. Yatantascha means endeavoring, dridhavrata, with great determination. And that's when we know the value of Krishna's holy name. Because Krishna's holy name gives us love for Krishna. And that love is so sublime that it satisfies all our urges. Scriptures say, Tatala Sankata Vari bindu sama, put dara ramne samaje. That our heart is like a desert. And in the desert, just imagine, if you get one drop of water, is that enough? No. You might as well didn't get that drop. So similarly, our heart is like a desert and it requires reservoir of love. And that love, we are looking everywhere. We are looking in our partners, boyfriend or girlfriend, husband or wife, in our relation, sons, daughters, father, children, friends, in samaje, means society. Vidyanidhi says, Vari bindu sam, it's like a drop, bindu. What can it do? Nothing. But Krishna's holy name is like a reservoir of pleasure. Prabhupada has written a book, Krishna, the reservoir of all pleasure. And when we endeavor to satata, always chant his holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Like hard work, it may be hard at first. You know, if you have to do hard work, it is difficult at first. But if you keep doing the hard work, then the work becomes easy, the work becomes enjoyable, and the rewards of that work become sweet. Similarly, at first, one who is not chanting may seem like very, very difficult and hard work. I know, first time I chanted on rounds, it took me 45 minutes and I was tired, sweating. Does anyone, you have that experience? No. Heart sweating, and yeah, it was difficult. But then I was fortunate. My parents kept taking me to the temple. I kept hearing classes, and eventually I became convinced, no, this is nice. And I kept chanting. So yes, it takes determination, it takes definite, deliberate endeavor to chant. And if we do it as a compulsory activity, first thing in the morning, then over a period of time, Shanair means slowly and gradually, we will realize that yes, this is actually the real wealth, and it will give us the greatest pleasure of anything. Therefore, when Nal, Kuber and Mani, and we'll conclude here, when Nal, Kuber and Mani grieve, they are offering prayers to Krishna after Krishna has uprooted those trees. Then they ask for 6 things from Krishna. What are these 6 things? They say, Vani gunanu kathane shravano kathayam. O Krishna, we pray that may our speech always sing your glories. Vani gunanu kathane shravano kathayam. May our ears always hear your katha, your pastimes. Vani gunanu kathane shravano kathayam. Hasto chakarmasu manastava padayona. May our hands always be engaged in serving you. So much service is required. Like we're gonna honor prasadam now. Someone has cooked that prasadam. Someone has cleaned the utensils. After the prasadam, someone will keel the utensils further, wrap all these things up. This is called seva. Manasastava padayorna. The 4th thing they ask, may our mind be always situated at your lotus feet. And then they ask that may we see your form in everyone, because you are in everyone's heart. That practically means not treating anyone badly. A Vaishnava means he sees everyone as expansion of the Lord, because the Lord is in everyone's heart. And in that way, they say, but particularly we want to associate with your devotees, your your bhaktas who are non-different from you. Because wherever devotees sing the glories of Krishna, Krishna is there. So these 6 things. First, always sing your Krishna names. Krishna Nam is glories. Second is Shravanam, listening to Krishna's names and pastimes. Third, hands, serving Krishna, doing work for Krishna. And fourth, mind, engage in always thinking about Him. And then the eyes, when we see everything else and every other person, seeing Krishna in their heart, because Krishna is present in their heart. That practically means that we will not exploit or mistreat. We will act in a friendly manner with everyone. And the 6th thing, in relation to devotees, may we always associate with your devotees, because your devotees are not different from you. Because devotees always glorify you, and through the devotees we get your association, your sangha. So if these 6 resolutions we make in this month, please repeat. Vani gunanu kathane Shravano kathayam Hastau cha karmasu Manas Tava padayona Tava padayona Smrityam shiras Tava nivasa jagat praname. So smrityas, also siras Tava nivasa jagat praname means I bow down to everyone because you are situated in everyone's heart. Nivasa jagat praname. Drishti satam darshane stubhavattanunam. And drishti, may our eyes always have darshan of your devotees, because you are not different from your devotees. So these 6 things they ask for. And the best and the easiest way in Kali Yuga is just constantly and always chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So any questions? Any comments?
What is this sloka reference?
10:10:38. 10:10:38. So this shloka you'll find in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 10th chapter, text number 38. So if you don't have Srimad Bhagavatam, you can get it from us. It's very important to have the textbook of life. When we go to school, we don't go to school without textbooks, isn't it? Okay, so now we'll have offering of the ghee lamps. In this particular month we have to Yashomati Nandan Damodar Bhagwan. Are the lamps ready? So, I think 5th of November, this Damodar auspicious month ends. So every day you can offer a ghee lamp to this form of the Lord at your own homes. And he said, just offering the ghee lamp, the Lord in this month becomes so pleased. And he does take away unlimited sins that we may have committed just by the power of offering a ghee lamp. In various Puranas it is mentioned about this month. So we forgot to actually get the sheets of the prayers, but on your phones, you can just search Damodar Ashtakam. Damodar Ashtakam. One word, Damodar, DAMODARASTAKAM. Damodar Ashtakam. Gunesh, playing Mridanga? Did everyone find? Yeah. Damodar Ashtakam. So while they prepare, so once the key lamps are there, you can come forward and offer it to their lordships and then place it on the table here. Namamishwaram.
ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखम्
गम्भीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखम्
प्रसन्नं कृष्णं भद्रं नित्यं नित्यं नमाम्यहम् जय नरसिंह श्री नरसिंह जय जय श्री नरसिंह प्रदादेश जय पद्म मुख्य पद्म वृंद
Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for coming to this evening's program. So we'll honor Prasadam now. Also, next week we'll have our usual Saturday evening and Sunday evening program. But Sunday evening will be a very special program because it's the disappearance of our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. So we'll have the program starting at 5 o'clock. So for next week, Sunday, if you can come a bit early, that will be good because you can hear the glorification of Srila Prabhupada. And thereafter, grand feast will be served. And Krishna willing, by that time, the inside of the temple room will be ready enough so that we can move in and sit there. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Sharira vidya jal jodendriyata hai kal. Jive pele vishaya sagore. Hare madhya jivarati lobh maya sudarmati. Kate jata kathina samsare. Krishna paro dayamaya